Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 741 of Geeks in Space. And I am Rob Commander Taco Balda. And I am here with my friends, Rob Roseboom.
Hello?
And Chris DeBona. Did it trip you out that I mapped a button to echo my voice?
Yeah, I'm super tripped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real anymore.
I know.
I'm straight tripping.
You be straight tripping, yo. Don't say that. That's horrible. I love it. Gentlemen, it's been like 10 days since we met.
Is that true?
I think so, because I don't think we
I've been
recorded last week.
traveling a lot. A big pain in the butt. So yeah.
Man, oh man. Well, let's see. I think the oldest one that we might have is the. Let's see.
Well, this, but
Yeah, we talked about the Joker last time.
We didn't talk about
the bison.
Ancient bison meat.
That sounds like a Rob story.
I don't think it was. But
I think it was mine.
maybe.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, we found this bison in this glacier, and if we had enough hot sauce, it's edible. And I'm like, so basically, it's like the worst freezer burn literally in history.
Yeah.
But it doesn't taste good normally.
Gross.
No. There's old stories of, some of the tribes in Kamchatka where they will supposedly have found, fairly well preserved mammoths and actually eaten the meat from them. So.
This is
This
kind of
is
gross.
1979. So
Yeah.
this is a retread. Look at that guy.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Oh yeah. The only thing that would be better than that is if we could get a toe and put just like a bison toe in our beverages.
I mean,
55,000 bison bourbon.
actually, it kind of looks like it's been like in a barbecuer, right? The skin wise.
Yeah.
Super dry. It's like jerky.
Jerky.
Gross.
Hated jerky.
Well,
that's what it said. It was worse than beef jerky.
Well, fair enough. I didn't link that. So I have two monitor stories, but I didn't link the other one. I didn't think about it. But there's the LG 4K monitor. And I think this one is eye tracking. And it's raising and lowering on a stand in order to keep it positioned optimally for your for ergonomics.
Yeah.
And
you know what it was? Is that there was an engineer at LG who was very tired of his office mate who had terrible posture. So he pranked him by basically forcing his posture to be a bit more erect and proper because his monitor kept on going up. And he's like, what's going on? So,
well,
they decided to productize it.
I mean,
posture pal monitor.
I can't imagine that this is like practical, but I mean, okay, cool.
No, I
LG
mean,
is coming out with some really go ahead.
Speaking of impractical, the very first thing I thought when you said this is if you could get it good enough to recognize your eye movement through your eyelids, so you could put it in front of someone who's sleeping during REM sleep and just watch it just freak out.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's like vibrating.
Because that's what people want is a 30-pound
vibrating
monitor, an arm on a motor
above their face.
Above their face while they sleep. It's very
and they get up in a start. Boom, oh,
yeah,
ow,
The other thing that really bothers me about this particular story is the screenshots that they put on it have like big dark gray toolbars around the edge of the screen, so you can't actually visually identify how much bezel the monitor has. Like that's either intentional or idiotic. But the other monitor story that I didn't link, but like every reviewer on YouTube got the OLED that can be curved and uncurved.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
LG has brought out a lot of fun things lately. They brought out that 224 monitors basically stuck together.
Yeah.
And it's wide. And I thought that was cool. They brought out, of course, absurdly wide ones. And then they brought out the Flexi guy.
Yep.
And they have a foldable laptop now that's basically a big, like 24-inch OLED that you can fold.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked horrible.
I thought it looked really cool. So I'm like, LG, they're creative, they're having fun, they're shipping a lot of really interesting stuff along with their boring, here's a square that you can look at stuff on. So I'm like, you know what? Good for them. This is a company that can ship a lot of stuff and have fun doing it. I'm like,
I bet that's a fun R&D
I can see
department.
maybe adjusting the curve once and then never, ever, ever again.
Yeah.
But, sure. Okay.
The screen that I'm on right now has like the slightest curve. Actually, ooh, I bet I could even see it. Yeah, there you go. There's my screen.
Wow.
It has like the narrow.
You need to put on pants.
Oh, do I? I'm wearing pajamas. It's like the slightest curve, and I can't imagine much more than that. But like, there's some like really curved monitors that you're like supposed to stick your face in, like really into the curve, and that would bother me. I don't.
Yeah, it's like I have a flat 32-inch monitor that when I installed it, I was like, it's just too big. I either need to be further away. And then my kid has a curved 34 or 32, and it's kind of good.
This one's 38.
Distance right.
The curved one that LG was showing was 45. But and there's a whole bunch of these new 45-inch widescreen panels that are coming out, these OLEDs, but they're all like 3600 by 1444 or whatever, by 1440. And that's just, I need more vertical real estate than that. I do work.
Yeah. Well, they do have ones that are 2140, so. Which is pretty nice.
But not like the 45-incher OLEDs. That's what I desire. I want a 45-inch OLED. But I want it to be 5K, 2K resolution. That's the dream, baby. Hey, Rob, did you want to hollow out a pumpkin and learn how to paddle down a river?
I already know how.
Oh. That guy was pretty awesome.
Let me find it. There he is.
Yeah.
So this is another one of those specious records where you're like,
yeah,
I know you're saying it's a record, but is it really a record?
So this guy, I'm almost positive, has done this before.
He's breaking his own record?
I've seen a story about a guy going down the river in a pumpkin. And how many of those people can there really be?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's a very small club.
Very limited number of people who want to. Yeah. Who have, well, and this guy actually said the hardest part was growing the pumpkin.
Yeah.
it's a big pumpkin.
Is pumpkin by itself like a foam that displaces water? Or if water gets in, is he doomed?
Yeah, he'd be pretty doomed pretty quick.
I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, does it just float? Is it like...
I mean, if there was a leak in the bottom, it would fill with water pretty rapidly. So he's kind of dependent upon the skin, right?
Yeah.
I think it would probably make a better boat than even a tree. Just because of how durable the skin is, because like it's not like wood. If you hit something, it would crack or something like that. It would get bruised or something. But
yeah, if you hit something that punctured it, you'd be fucked. But
yeah, but the puncture would have to go all the way through like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rind.
Yeah.
I don't know because
it's a good bump.
The pulp inside or whatever, I don't know how durable that is. The skin would be watertight.
I know you have to roast it and salt it before you can really eat it,
And then people make pie out of it, which I think is the most disgusing of things.
You don't like pumpkin pie?
I think pumpkin pie is the devil's food. I don't understand
why
people
allowed in America, Rob Malda.
It's not very good. I agree with you.
I'm going to have to agree to disagree.
I'm a huge fan of the apple pie, and I don't understand why you would bother making other pies when apple pie is a choice, but pumpkin pie is a prank.
Apple's really good.
If it's not a fruit or pecans, I'd rather have sweet potato pie. Pie, to be honest.
I've had sweet potato pie. That is a tolerable use of sweet potato, the yam, if you will.
I'm also a huge fan of strawberry rhubarb.
I love strawberry rhubarb.
Not a rhubarb.
Love the bitter, sour anger of the rhubarb mixed with the lovely, tasty sweetness,
This is the longest we've ever talked about the edible pie and not the mathematical pie, probably in our lives.
Right, 3.14159, and I'm done. Okay.
Oh, we skipped the BioShock movie.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
I'm sure it'll be really good.
I never finished BioShock, but it is the prettiest game.
It's a very interesting game.
Sure.
I
I
love
never
that
finished it
style.
either.
I love that art, that aesthetic, that mid-century, or that Art Deco. God, it's so good. Oh, it's one of the guys from Red Sparrow. Oh, bummer.
I never watched that. Was it any good?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh,
If
and
only-
Mockingjay. Gosh.
If only Spielberg had made the BioShock movie, right? I mean, like,
Because he did so good with Ready Player One.
yeah, who else are they going to get to make this movie?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, say what you will about Ready Player One. The movie was way better than the book.
Kathleen was giving me a summary of the plot of the sequel to the book,
Artemis?
and she was just like, I can't believe this. That, like, she was like telling it to me and like couldn't believe that was the plot. It was very funny.
It was basically Last Starfighter, wasn't it?
But more with like the man being Jesus. Did you get the video up of the astronaut dissolving tablets in 0G?
No.
It's astronaut dissolves effervescent tablet in water.
Cool.
It's just a video. And
Very
it's
aligned with my interests.
Well, you are our #1 fan, Chris.
I like astronauts.
Yeah, you're not only a host, you're also a fan.
I am a fan with the budget. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, that's not helpful.
Let me see if I can fix this. Wow. You guys talk about
the next
your
one.
favorite effervescent tablets.
Well, I liked the story, like all the shenanigans going on in Californians with the heat wave. That please don't charge your cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you can't buy non-chargeable cars after 2035. Don't forget. So.
You know what though? 13 years, whatever.
A Facebook friend posted a image inside their house yesterday where outside it was 108 and inside her house was 83.
Oh my God.
So
yeah,
it's not very pleasant in a lot of those places.
Yeah,
I saw on the news this morning
yesterday. So
that Death Valley is supposed to hit a record. I can't remember if it was 134 or 127.
I thought it hit like 127 like a couple of days ago, and that was a record, and they're thinking it's going to break it again. But don't worry, guys. Global warming is not a thing. It's just a myth cooked up.
Yeah, just
enjoy Burning
natural.
Man.
Oh God.
No, I mean this would hit the people over at Black Rock. You know, they're, you know.
I didn't know that was happening right now.
Yeah, that was happening during the big heat wave, and I'm like, really? Are you sure you want to go? You know, but yeah. So that was pretty cool. Enjoyed that video. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, there's the ball. Sorry, podcast listener, but we just watched a neat video.
Well, first they dyed it green and blue and yellow, so it's basically like a big puce ball of expanding puke foam. So
yep, it was neat.
Yeah.
I do wish that it had a ruler or something for scale, because it wasn't clear to me how much it grew.
Yeah. Well,
I needed a banana for scale.
Yeah. A banana. Yes.
Banana for scale. So, all right. The next thing that we've got is Stable Diffusion stuff. And since our last chat, Stable Diffusion has been like all of the stories.
Yeah.
It kind of started with the Stable Diffusion art project that won the contest, that won an art contest, and all my artsy friends spazzing about that.
I think it's really fun and exciting, to be honest with you. I'm having a great time messing around with it, and you know, the one with the girl with the pearl earring. So Open AI released a version of Dolly where you can add things to otherwise. You know, classic art. You say, well, show the rest of the room around her, you know?
Yeah.
It was.
I don't think I posted it, but I did. I saw one recently where they took screenshots from 80s text adventure games, you know, the 16 color, you know, basically low res vector art. And they ran it through these things and turned these things into like these gorgeous paintings. But like inspired by, but not literally holding to the lines. I think this stuff is extraordinary.
It's really.
But I mean, like I don't like. I feel like we're on the precipice of something with this. Deep fakes too. But like we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we've been talking about
See,
this stuff for years.
like I feel bad for the artist because, back and before this, someone would have to paint that or make it, right? And
Yeah,
now computers are taking all our good put a cat head on someone's body jobs.
it's so
Yeah, well,
cute,
also I would say that cat is probably way happier not having to cram its way into some suit, you
right?
know?
But that cat trainer doesn't get to get paid for
And but
posing him.
that cat trainer doesn't get, shredded by that cat's nails.
That's true.
'Cause I can tell you, my cat would not allow me to put him in a suit and tie.
I showed you right before we
Very
started,
much a
but
Hawaiian shirt.
3 of my cats right now are wearing little bow tie collars. We've discovered that when you put bow ties on our cats, they get dumber. Like it's weird. Like
Because you're withdrawing oxygen from their brains?
they are so loosely fitted that is not the case. But they are like dumber. Like they want to sit on your lap more, and they're friendlier and nicer, and they're not like getting in fights, which is kind of awesome.
Are there drugs like
No.
in a little styrette?
Just
No,
tiny.
well, they only want to drink martinis when they have their bow ties on, but other than that, there's no drugs involved. No.
That's right.
Oh, wait, let me go to OpenAI and
Yeah, Magnum PI says that AI is putting our cat wranglers out of jobs.
Yeah.
I've got a Dolly account. Let me log in. Get that image.
My favorite ones that I've seen are the ones where you get to sketch like kind of a layout, because that's kind of the thing that these Dolly things and all of these, they don't have much of a sense of aesthetic yet. They can render stuff kinda, but they don't really understand the rules of composition and like things like that. So I kind of love I saw one where a man was drawing domed cities. But he just basically drew like where he wanted the dome and then some like dune-ish shapes, and then it rendered a domed city and dunes. But like, he only needed to draw almost like a stick figure equivalent. I don't know. I think, especially for like rough, like storyboard art, rough stuff. I think this is game changing.
Yeah.
And so much easier than deepfakes. Deepfakes still require a lot more technical expertise. These only require you to log into a pre-existing cloud account. Yeah, I'm fascinated by this. I think this is going to be huge. I don't know if it's going to be 6 months or 10 years from now.
Maybe.
My favorite one on this list was Chris compressing images with Stable Diffusion.
No,
really? He takes images, then compresses like uncompressed raw images, compresses them with JPEGs, and then he writes. He has an image analysis program. I can't remember which one he uses, but it analyzes the image, generates a paragraph of text about the image, and then regenerates a new image based on that text.
Yeah. I saw that. I linked that one. It was good.
So he was compressing, I don't know, a 15 meg image down to, a sentence. And
well, that's what this is, right?
Yeah, but he was actually taking an original photo, turning it into text, and then using the text to turn it back into a new photo, and then comparing compression ratios between like a JPEG and that. He did note though that it was a slightly lossy compression algorithm, in that the outputting picture looked almost nothing like the start.
Yeah,
but it made me very happy. Trying to remember what images he used. I did link this one, compressing images with Stable Diffusion. Yeah, he's got like a person holding a book, and then the other picture's like nothing to do with it. It's great. Cats and
having a good time with this.
I've
got 3 minutes till my next thing. So
well, we can stop whenever we want.
Well, you guys can keep going.
That's true. But
the taxi story is hilarious. Apparently, somebody figured out Yandex's Uber algorithm, and so they called every taxi in the city to the same spot.
The video's really funny.
Yeah,
there's just so many taxis lined up, all waiting to pick up the same guy.
The deleting negative user reviews for the Rings of Power is...
Let's save that and talk about that next time, because there's a lot to that, and then we can talk about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But yeah, the taxi cab thing is awesome, because that feels to me like a cool form of civil disobedience, but also like the world's worst prank, like somewhere in that range.
Or the best prank.
Right. I like things like that because at least nobody got hurt. You know?
Yeah. I think we can leave with this number one here.
Kids yelling poop at Alexa.
Yeah.
Well, how will we know where to start next time?
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out using our
You're
brains.
right. Okay.
Well,
Bye, guys.
See you, Chris. Great to see you too. We'll say goodbye to Chris DeBona, and then he can click out, and I'll say goodbye to Rob Roseboom.
See you later.
I was Rob Commander Taco Malda. That was episode 741 of Geeks in Space, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.